Trump cutting off food stamps right before Thanksgiving, bad and all, but my people ran out of stores. With the cart full, I bet it's going to be some turkey on my plate. Ham, mashed potatoes, greens, dressing. It's going to all be there. Don't worry about it.
It's bad enough I gotta pay rent. It's bad enough I got a car note. It's bad enough we gotta pay insurance. It's bad enough we gotta pay light bill. It's bad enough we gotta pay for gas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. And then on top of that, I'm pregnant.
And ladies and gentlemen, you are now looking into the face of non-accountability.
Donald motherfucker Orange Man J. Trump. I'ma tell you just like this. What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November? Cause I'm getting my goddamn. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit. Cause I'ma tell you just like this, on Jesus Lamar motherfucking Christ. I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare a try to stop me from walking out that motherfucking store with my groceries.
And a PSA to them retail workers during this hard time of what's going on in the world. I really don't advise y'all to try to chase after anybody that's trying to collect them some food for their family as they're walking out that door with that cart, because you might fuck around and don't make it.
For those of you laughing because I'm on welfare, I just want to show you something real quick. This is my upcoming pending deposit for SNAP EBT for November. If you are laughing at me right now because you think that I'm going to suffer come November, you better think it.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed, or Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. First and foremost, as always, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us his truth and also teaching his truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Beginning with the 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom. I'm the brother Tazaman from the Great Millstone Dallas camp, coming back today with another quick lesson, and I pray this lesson will be edifying to the elect. In the montage of videos, that you've seen in the beginning, just goes forth and shows that, the accuser of the brethren, all right, is Esau, Edom. And you see these people crashing out over, losing their food stamps and losing, the SNAP benefits, and that they're going to go into the grocery stores and they're going to, they're going to fill their buggies up with food and just walk out, and that they're going to be stealing and them doing all these various different things, pretty much openly stating that they're going to commit crimes. This is nothing more than just Esau, first and foremost, putting the propaganda out that Jake is going to be at the head of these unrest and these quote unquote riots that are going to take place, at these grocery stores. There's been reports of, people at Walmart, Walmart having to pretty much close their stores down due to people going in and stealing and just walking out with things. And, things are going to get a lot worse, specifically, coming up into this so-called holiday season. You have so-called Thanksgiving, coming up in November. Then you have, Christmas coming up in December. And, you have Halloween coming up here in the next, couple days or whatever the case may be. And Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is completely, shutting this shit down as he said that he was going to do. All right, this is Isaiah, the 24th chapter, verse, let's see if I can find it real quick. This is Isaiah 24, verse 7. It says, the new wine mourneth, the vine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. And to be merry-hearted is to pretty much be in a jovial, happy spirit. But now you don't have too many people being made merry or making themselves merry. You have a lot of people who are online, talking about how they can't no longer afford, whether to pay their bills, whether it be paying their rent or paying their, utilities, putting gas in their car, having to sacrifice these particular bills for food. People having to work, 2, 3, 4 jobs just to maintain a somewhat stable life. Okay. And when Esau takes away the food, when this food is taken away, that's going to cause more people to lose their minds, as you've seen in the montage of videos, in the beginning of the video or the beginning of the lesson. So once again, it says, verse 8, it says, the mirth of the tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth, the noise of them that rejoice endeth, the joy of the harp ceaseth. They shall not drink new wine, Slakia. They shall not drink wine with the song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. Okay, so you're not going to be able to so-called enjoy your season. You heard what what Eve you heard what Eve said. She was like, she pretty much was stating like, I'll be damned if I can't go. I'll be damned if I go into these grocery stores and I can't use my EBT card. I'm going to eat me some turkey. I'm going to eat me some ham. I'm going to eat me some macaroni and cheese. You see that, and the nigger woman is completely out of order, man. The black woman is completely out of order, man. Well, that's why the scripture says, she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. All right, but once again, all right, this is nothing more than just really Esau using our people as a ploy, if you will, to show forth why they're going to come down hard upon Jake, because because Jake is making themselves, on the internet look like complete monkeys, man, complete buffoons. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither Yahweh shall lead thee. You see, we're going to be the laughing stock. We're going to be the ones who are ridiculed. You see, we're going to be the ones that are going to be looked at as being the monsters. Because when you look at it statistically, you have more Edomites, if you will, that are on, let's see, who are the most, I'd rather say it like this. What nationality of people mainly use SNAP benefits? Now let's look at the AI generation. All right. Based on data from fiscal year 2023, the largest group of SNAP recipients is white Edomites, representing about 37% of participants. You see that? So it's mainly Edomites, Esau, all right, that are on SNAP. Okay, those that identify as white. Okay, it says, however, it is important to consider that SNAP serves people from all racial and ethnic backgrounds, and that participation rates can vary disproportionately when compared to the overall U.S. population. So you have 37% that are white, black / African American percent, or about 20%, 26%, excuse me. Latino or Hispanic, about 16%. All right, but when you look at it, these videos of people crashing out, you're seeing particularly Jake, specifically the Jake women, beginning with the so-called black women that's crashing out. All right, that's saying that they're going to go into these stores and that they're going to loot and they're going to rob, and y'all better stay out of my way because I'm getting my food. If my car gets declined, y'all better stay out of my way. I'll be damned if they take away my food. I'll be damned if they take away my benefits. Well, you want to be Miss Strong and Miss Independent, or this is what you, this is what comes with being so-called independent. Because realistically, it's not meant for a woman to be single. It's not meant for a woman to be single and be Miss Independent. That's something that was a construct that was created by our enemy to further divide the household and the family structure. You see, they give these women civil liberties and, women's lib and things of that nature. That was really all just a systematic ploy to destroy, the nucleus of the Israelite family even further by taking the man out the house and then giving these women particular liberties. And the scripture says, giving out a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad. You see, because when you have wicked women just gathering abroad freely, that just brings forth more confusion and more chaos, man. You see? But once again, all right, this is the accuser at work. All right, because you have more people that are on, these benefit programs that are really Edomites. You see? This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 7. It says, all that found them have devoured them. Talking about these various different nations, beginning with the Edomites that have put us into captivity, which was ultimately due to the curses. We have been devoured. Okay? We don't even know who we are as a people. And when like I said, when we're round about these particular different nations, they look at us as if we're the scum of the earth. And we'll get the priest up here in a second after this. It says, and their adversaries say, we offend not, because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their father. So they're saying, like, look, we're not doing any wrong. The reason why they're in this position is because they ultimately strayed away from their power. As it says here in the NLT, we did nothing wrong in attacking them, for they sinned against Yahweh, their true the true place of rest, and the hope of their ancestors. You see, so they're like, man, look, we didn't do anything wrong by attacking them. You see, but when our affliction had an end, Esau took it too far. You see, that's why the hell that Esau's going to catch in the kingdom is going to be far worse than the hell that we caught on this side. You see, this is Lamentation 2. All right, Lamentation 2 and 15, it says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. And it's talking about all these various different nations that see us, and they clap their hands, pretty much cheering the fact that we were taken down as a people, because, we were once that noble vine. We were once the people that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai deemed as being his chosen people, which we still are his chosen people. It's just the fact that we're under the curses right now, which the curses are being, lifted off. But really, these curses are going to be fully lifted off whenever Yahushua returns. The elect of the nation of Israel are delivered. All right, this beast system is collapsed and destroyed. All right, Yahushua reigns on the planet Earth as the king, and then you're going to have King David underneath him, the rest of the 144,000, the 12 disciples, the rest of the 144,000, and the nation of Israel being on top. Once Esau's world ends and the world of Jacob begins, all right, that's when we're going to fully inherit. All right, that's when the kingdom is fully going to be enacted in all the various different heathen nations underneath our rule. You see? So the fact that we've gone into captivity, the nations they've cheered themselves on. They've passed gifts one to another, which have been slaves, because the fact that they understand the fact that we're not in our power, right? It says they hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? You see that? Because we were initially given the law, statutes, and commandments. We were given away, all right, to reign and to govern, as it tells you in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. All right, the scriptures state that, that the law, statutes, and commandments, that was our wisdom and our understanding in the sight of the nations, whereas the nations were to look at us and pretty much deem us as a righteous and a holy people. You see, what nation is this that has a power so near unto them and laws that are so holy and perfect? But when you look at our people now, our people are crashing out. Our people are gone. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You see, they don't understand the fact of why they're losing their benefits now. They don't understand the fact that you trusting in the shadow of Egypt is ultimately going to be to your detriment or to your downfall. It doesn't matter if you're a right or left. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter if Kamala Harris would have been in office. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day, man. What matters is that your ass is in captivity, man. What matters is that your enemy, all right, is ruling over you, and they're using these different parties and these different right wing, left wing groups to keep you further in captivity, man. And the more and more that you rely upon this devil for sustenance, the more and more you're going to be squeezed into this new world order, to the point where you're going to have a microchip in your ass, man. Because that's what all roads is leading to now. They're already orchestrating a financial famine, to have people crash out, to what? To have more order out of the chaos that they're ensuing. It's that simple. Verse 16, it says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. You see, because when the nation of Israel is on the bottom, these various different nations understand and know that if we're on the bottom and they got us and they have us mentally, they understand and know that they win. It says, certainly this is the day that we looked for. See, we have found, we have seen it. You see, these various different nations have looked for the day that we will be on the bottom. You know, specifically because they remember, you know, these elites and, you know, these various different elites of these Edomite families and things of that nature. They understand and they know that they know the relics of whenever they were on the bottom, you know, whenever King David, you know, the throne of David was established and all the various different heathen were put underneath his foot. You read that in 2 Samuel, the 8th chapter. You see? But once again, they're going to have Jake at the forefront. And now, you know, these videos, even if they are AI, you know, even if some of them are AI, it doesn't matter. You see? They're going to frame mischief. They're going to frame mischief by law. Because the face of civil unrest, the face of, you know, looting, you know, the face of disorder. Why you think Esau is coming up in these Jake neighborhoods and running up in Chicago and sending out the National Guard to Chicago and having ICE raids and things like that? Why is that the case? And they come into these various different neighborhoods where Jake resides, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's all a systematic plan. Okay? And it's going to get worse. All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse Ezekiel 22, verse 4. It says, thou art become guilty in thy blood that thou hast shed. All right, and once again, the main reason as to why, you know, Jake is in this position is because we transgressed against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. We have gone into captivity because we transgressed. All right. It says, and hast defiled thyself in thine idols which thou hast made. You know, Jake worshiping these various different gods, following after these various different philosophies, you know, but not turning back to their true power. It says, and thou hast caused thy days to draw near, and are come even unto thy years. Therefore have I made thee a reproach unto the heathen, and a mocking to all countries, because we have been scattered among the heathen. That was one of the curses. Deuteronomy 28:64, that we will be scattered among the heathen. We will be scattered among the heathen, and we would serve their various different idols of wood and stone. And with us serving these various different idols that was established and erected by the heathen and started following after their ways, that's what caused us to become Gentiles. Okay. Verse 5, it says, those that be near and those that be far from thee shall mock thee, which art infamous and much vexed. You see that? So now our people have become a mocking or an astonishment among the heathen. You see, we have become that proverb. We have become that byword among the heathen. You see, we were once that noble vine, as the scripture says, how have thou become a degenerate plant unto me? And Jake is a bunch of fucking degenerates, man. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are a bunch of degenerates. Going online, pretty much showing forth all the ruckus that you about to cause, just making yourself an open target. And when Esau, you know, when the devil comes down, when the sword is implemented on you, Jakes, man, the Lord ain't gonna have no pity for you, because he's gonna be the one that's gonna bring it. Because remember, the scripture says, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see? So when these, you know, November 1st, when November 1st rolls around and these EBT cards get declined, you're gonna have that insufficient funds. And you try going up in these grocery stores and try to, you know, muscle your way through. What do you think's going to happen? Well, they're going to send out the National Guard response team and have them at these particular stores, whereas you ain't going to be able to freely enter into the grocery store. You know? And if you think that you about to go up in there and cause some mayhem, your ass going to be mowed down. Your ass finna fuck around and find out. You see, but this is all going to be judgment from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. And this, once again, it's just going to get worse. You see, when people become desperate, that's when people become dangerous. But once again, who's going to be caught? It's order out of chaos. This is all leading way into more draconian laws coming down the pipe and being passed down so that the sword can be further implemented. Remember, the scripture says in Psalm 83 that the nations are confederate against it and they want to cut us off from being a people. And they're not going to be able to fully do that because, you know, once again, there's a remnant that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai has reserved that are going to be saved. You see? So, you know, I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders, a great millstone that taught us his truth and also teaching his truth. And much peace, love, and salutation to the elect, beginning with 144,000, all the way down to the large multitude that believes and who the Lord will deliver in these last days. To you all I say shalom.